So in a normal NBA season, you would think that being the best team in the Eastern Conference and team that's definitely going to the NBA Finals, you'd figure, oh yeah, they're in a good position. Well, when you have 31-year-old LeBron James realizing that he doesn't have all the time in the world anymore to win a few championships, combined with the fact that the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs are two fantastic teams out west, and the star players on your roster, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, it has not really worked between the three of them yet. Kevin Love being a player who was really effective with the ball in his hands in Minnesota, whether it be him setting off-ball screens to get open or just posting up. The Cavaliers have mainly just used him as a guy to stand in the corner, or they run a pick and roll with him and LeBron, but teams just switch it all the time, so it kind of nullifies it. And Kyrie Irving is a shoot-first point guard who was forced into this atmosphere of wanting to win a title once LeBron showed up. And given that LeBron is a ball-dominant player, Kyrie's role, it's kind of reduced, and you would think because Kyrie is such a fantastic shooter that he'd be able to play off of LeBron, but I mean, of course it's been working, but when we compare it to Golden State and San Antonio, there's that moment of, I don't know if we can win this. And of course we saw, with the underlying impatience with this team, we saw David Blatt fired earlier this season and Tyronn Lue is the head coach now. I mean, in the beginning, for a little bit there, Tyronn Lue definitely made Kevin Love a little more well-known within the offense, giving him the ball in the post and things like that, but it's been reduced as time has gone on. Do I ever think we're going to get to a point where LeBron James just says, hey, everybody get the hell out of the way, I'm going to give it to Kevin Love on the block right now? We're probably never going to get there since LeBron just loves to have the ball in his hand, and I can't blame him since he's LeBron frickin' James, but you know, it kind of reduces what Kevin Love can do for you. And, I mean, the Cavaliers have some flexibility when it comes to their lineups. They could roll with LeBron James at center when Golden State goes small. They could have Tristan Thompson in there because Thompson did have some success against Draymond in the NBA Finals last season. You could have LeBron at the 4, but, you know, I just don't think the Cavaliers have enough two-way players to really be effective against a Golden State or a San Antonio. I mean, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are not that great defensively, to be honest. And besides Iman Shumpert and LeBron James, they don't have that many defenders on their team. So, now of course LeBron could just go God mode against anybody, we know this, but if what I believe and what a lot of people believe is going to happen, with which, you know, the Cavaliers don't have the perfect lineup to match up against Golden State's small lineup, and then San Antonio is just too savvy of a team. If we're put into a position where they need to trade either Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving, I think your best bet, it's probably to move Kevin Love for some effective two-way players. I mean, the move that immediately comes to mind is Kevin Love for Jay Crowder and at least like 2 pretty damn solid first-round picks from the Celtics. I mean, as a Celtics fan, I don't even know how I feel about that because of how good Jay Crowder is, but that's the kind of guy you gotta look for if you're the Cavaliers, in my opinion. Let's say they lose to Golden State or San Antonio. You can't just go, oh, that's okay, we'll just kind of retool in free agency. No, because next year you're going to have 32-year-old LeBron James who really wants to win championships. So the sense of urgency is through the roof with these guys. So if they lose, drastic things are going to happen here, you know? And of course, the idea of trading Kevin Love comes from the fact that he's just not that good of a defensive player, and because what they're pretty much having him do, which is stand in the corner a lot of times, I mean, there are guys in the NBA who can play power forward, who can hit threes, and play better defense than Kevin Love, and they can do it for considerably cheaper. I mean, hell, you got Channing Frye on the roster right now, who granted has not been hitting as many threes as you would like him to over the past, week and a half, but if he's hitting those three-pointers, he's probably better than Kevin Love defensively. And then you could just use Kevin Love, like I mentioned before, to get a Jay Crowder type of guy who can provide them with defense, shooting, as well as a whole lot more versatility when it comes to playing small and All the weird sort of things you need in the 2016 version of the NBA. Now, let's say if the Cavs go a more conservative route and they say, we're not going to move Kevin Love or potentially Kyrie Irving, I guess, in the offseason. Let's see if we can do something in free agency, and then if it's not working next year, maybe we can make a move at the trade deadline. Well, the Cavaliers, even with the impending salary cap jump, which is apparently going to be at $90 million next year, they're still $13 million over the cap, unless J.R. Smith declines his player option, which, I don't know, maybe he will. We don't know the rules of the future NBA salary cap yet, but that might be enough to where you can still do something within the mid-level exception. Jared Dudley's a free agent. He's not as athletic as Jay Crowder, but in terms of defense, shooting, and playing small ball 4, he kind of fits the bill for you, and he's not going to cost that much. I think that sort of a guy could be good for them. And I mentioned it a second ago, the idea of trading Kyrie Irving. I don't know if I would do it because having only one playmaker on your team is usually not the best idea in the world. If you could at least get back a serviceable point guard for Kyrie Irving as well as a couple of athletic wings, then maybe you consider it, but I don't think Kyrie Irving gets traded. I think, yeah, does he shoot the ball a little too much and is he not awesome on defense? Yes, but what he does for you offensively next to LeBron James, I don't think I would move Kyrie. So I think that's going to do it. I do not think the Cavaliers are good enough to beat Golden State. Potentially San Antonio, but even then I slide towards the Spurs. If they're lucky enough to see OKC in the finals, well then okay, they got a shot. But yeah, I think this offseason we could see Kevin Love moved. I think their best option is to acquire a wing or multiple wings who can play defense as well as shoot threes, provide them with some versatility. You got to have options. They're not good enough defensively. They don't have enough shooting against those teams. They're still an awesome team in and of themselves, but 32-year-old LeBron James wanting to win a title, so you gotta win it right now. So that's going to do it. Whatever your opinion on the Cleveland Cavaliers is, let it be known. That's it.